Cycling is big business in Mallorca and is actively encouraged, promoted and supported by the Mallorcans. It's estimated that more than 35,000 cyclists arrive in Mallorca each year, making Mallorca one of the most popular locations for cyclists in the world. There are quite a number of World Tour Pro teams and national teams that choose Mallorca as a base for training camps, which speaks to how good the infrastructure and climate are. Every April the Mallorca 312, a mass cycling event, takes place and continues to grow in popularity. The 12th edition just took place on April 30th. 312 kilometers through the most amazing parts of this largest of the Balearic Islands. 14 hours to make it. There are two shorter distances for those less ambitious. The fact that the event takes place on closed roads bears testament to the encouragement the Mallorcans afford cyclists. I've enjoyed many hours and many kilometers of cycling in Mallorca, and I have my favorite routes. I particularly love the climbs. The mountains are my favorite place on the island. At times I seem to have the world to myself. I can count the cars that pass me on one hand at times. In the height of summer the crickets are incredibly loud and it's an exotic sound to me. The road surfaces for the most part are smooth and cycling on them is pure joy. The scenery, once you get out of Palma, is truly amazing and I feel so lucky to be able to ride through it all. The villages in the mountains are picture postcard perfect and the civic pride is obvious. Fornalutz, Orient, Valdemasa, Dia, Salar immediately spring to mind. The mountains are my playground and I feel lifted when I'm there. Here are 5 of my favorite rides. Palma Sa Calobra Palma, an out and back route and quite an epic. Not a difficult climb from a gradient point of view, but a testing one all the same. At the top, as you look back, you can see Palma and the Medway off in the distance. The longest climb in Mallorca begins here, 14 km of gentle turns through forest and up to the second tunnel. Cyclists are allowed to ride through this time. The descent down to the Sa Calobra turn-off begins. You go past Gorge Blau, Mallorca's main reservoir that supplies Palma and other towns and villages. You may begin to have regrets on the way down when you consider that you have to ride back up. In reality the climb is not so hard, the last cave probably the most testing. If there's a route that can top it anywhere in the world I'd like to see it. The spit of land called Cap de Formentor is located in the Palenque municipality on the northernmost tip of the island of Majorca. You set out along the shore of the Bay of Alcudia. A flat road that hugs the sea. You can see what's to come as you go towards Porto de Palenque. But what you can't see is how incredibly beautiful the stretch of road from there to the Land's End of Mallorca actually is. The first part of the climb is quite barren. Once you've crested that obstacle, the road plunges down towards Formentor through the forest. With glimpses on the turquoise waters way down below. Once past Formentor the road points up once again and prepare for breathtaking views all around. The last part is rocky and steep and takes you to the lighthouse and the welcome cafe on the precipitous outcrop. The return journey is such a joy too, the way you came but with a different perspective. Cars are banned on this road from June to September. You ride along the Paseo Maritimo from the cathedral and do a right at the Hard Rock Cafe. The road tips up from here and takes you up to the military base. Hardly any cars will disturb the tranquility, but you're sure to see quite a few fellow cyclists. At the top you have a fantastic view towards Calvia. The descent is very technical, but the road surface is very good, not too many long straight stretches and a lot of hairpins find you at the bottom. Here you do a left toward Calvia. The next 10k is very fast as it's all slightly downhill and there always seems to be a tailwind. At Calvia, you do a left and head towards Palma Nova. A high-speed descent takes you to the roundabout at Palma Nova and on towards Palma. Establiments Puigpunyent spirals out through Palma's suburbs towards Establiments and endless sets of traffic lights will soon see you in the countryside. There are a couple of nice cafes here if you feel like a sticky bun and a cuppa. The climb out of Puigpunyent is, yet again, not too steep but testing. The climbs in Mallorca are generally around the 5/6% mark and not too long. If you've done a lot of climbing in the Alps, the Mallorcan climbs will seem like molehills.